The US government gave me a check for $1,200. This week, the US government gave me and almost every other American adult $1,200, no questions asked. Do you need money to pay for food or for rent? Then this money can help. Do you want to buy an expensive bag or get a new laptop? No problem. Do you want to invest in stocks or put the money in savings? The choice is yours. Now, what if the government guaranteed you this money every single month? This is a concept known as Universal Basic Income, or UBI. Although the USA hasn't quite achieved this yet, that being giving money to every citizen every month, this first check might be a glimpse of what's to come in the future. But what is universal basic income? The first word, universal, means that all adults, regardless of employment status or income, are eligible. This money sadly is not universal, as it only applies to adults earning less than $100,000 a year, but it still covers the vast majority of Americans. The second word, basic, refers to the baseline amount of money to cover life essentials. This includes money for things like food and other basic necessities. The final word, income, in this case, is from the government. This is different country to country, but in the United States, approximately $1,000 a month is chosen, as it's the money needed to reach the national poverty line. This all sounds great on paper, a universal basic amount of money guaranteed by the government every single month. But why did the government decide to start giving money now, and what does it mean for the future? Right now, the US economy is going through its biggest crisis since 2008. Most people cannot work, and many people have already lost their jobs. This money is meant to help the average American, but also help businesses and stimulate the economy. In a sense, UBI is a win-win-win, encouraging spending to help small businesses, giving the average person a bit of financial security, and generate tax money for the US government. UBI has actually been discussed in the United States and by other governments for decades. The state of Alaska has had UBI since 1976, but it currently only gives recipients $1,600 a year. Most famously, the program was pushed by the Taiwanese American presidential candidate, Andrew Yang, and earlier this year, he advocated for giving all American adults over 18 years old $1,000 a month. And at the time, many people thought his idea was crazy. Just a few months later, the US almost overnight passed a temporary UBI. Some politicians in the US have even started proposing giving $2,000 a month for the next year until this crisis is over. Spain, one of the worst economically hit countries, was the first to announce that it was implementing UBI permanently. But the big question is, how will the government pay for it? There are really two ways. The first is to raise taxes. The second is to cut spending from other programs. The first, raising taxes, of course is unpopular, but what if people didn't need to pay? One popular proposal is to implement what's called a robot tax. This would require companies to continue paying taxes on jobs that are replaced by automation, or robots. Companies who choose to replace workers should still be responsible for paying taxes on productivity in the economy. In this way, it's the robots and the companies that are paying for this program. Yeah! Aside from this, there have also been proposals for things like a wealth tax and higher capital gains taxes. Also, because the average American will have an increased spending power, this will in turn increase tax revenue and grow the economy. In this way, UBI might just pay for itself. Of course, this is a very complicated subject, and no one really knows what would happen. But we might soon see the effects in the United States, Spain, and in other countries. The other possibility to pay for a UBI is by cutting spending and moving that money into UBI. For example, programs like unemployment insurance, rent and food assistance, and even things like public retirement pensions could all be simplified and combined into UBI. This would remove much of the complications of other welfare programs about who and how much money people receive. Instead, everyone, regardless of age, income, and employment status, would be given enough money to live a basic life. One big question people often ask is, won't UBI make people lazy? Even now, a small minority of people choose to live off government welfare, but this guarantees a very low quality of life. Just remember, UBI is only meant to support a basic life. After paying for things like food and rent, you really won't have much money left for things like travel, eating out, or that shiny new iPhone. The truth is, UBI might make people work less, but it will most likely allow people to have more freedom to change jobs and choose to do the work that they enjoy, or give more security and a higher standard of living for the jobs that they already have. Another question that people ask is, won't UBI just cause inflation and make everything more expensive? In a basic understanding of economics, the answer should be no. As long as the government isn't printing money to pay for this program, but instead redistributing money that already exists, then theoretically, UBI should not cause the price of goods and services to increase. Now, I should say again that I don't really know, and no one knows what the effects of UBI would be. This is because no country has tried it on this level and in the long term. If anything, I hope that I could at least introduce this idea to more people and start some discussions. If you haven't already, I really recommend checking out this video by Kurzgesagt. But what do you think? Do you think the world should adopt a UBI? How do you think it would affect the economy and society? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you loved it, please subscribe. And if you thought this video was interesting, share it with a friend. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time,